Okay, we will be building a guess a number game using Xcode. So let's open up Xcode. So we're using version 13.0 this time. So we'll create a new Xcode project. And this time it's an iOS application, iOS and app. So this is guess a number, okay? So this time we'll be using UIKit and the MVC model. However, we're not using any MVC model in this example. We'll be doing it in the second example. So we'll be using storyboard and using the Swift language. And we are not going to do any unit tests. And then you can save it wherever you like. So I'm just going to put it on desktop for now. Okay, then you're all set. So on the left-hand side, you see the navigation menu. So it will show you all the files that you have. So in an older version, it is called main.storyboard. So, but here it's called main. So it's the same thing if you're using an older version. So first we can change the simulator to, for example, use a iPhone 12 Pro Max. So this one change it also. So isn't a 13, where's my 12 then? Oh, well. I only have 11 and 12, so why not use the 13 then? So we can use the 13 Pro Max, so it match. So in our guess a number game, so we will be building, we'll be using some of the component. So you open up the library by using, let's see here. So you can go to the menu and show library. So you shift, command, and L. This is your key. So shift, command, L. So we can see it by keystroke here. Oh, it's gone. Okay, back to here. So it bring up the library. So we will first need the label. So put it in here. So make it a little bit bigger. Or across the screen. And then make my text two different things. So guess a number between 0 to 9. How about that? And put it in the center. We can make it a little bigger. So to fill up, because we're not going to change it. So because this default color is transparent. So how about make a background color so that you can actually see this area belongs to this label. And then we'll need another label. So this label will display the message to you. And again, make it a little bit bigger. So this time, just please enter a number. So I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger and see. Okay. So change the background color again. Well, it's good enough. Okay, so please enter a number. Then you will need a place for user to enter a number. So those are called text field. Okay. So then you click and drag it here. So then here, how about I put a number first so that you can actually see some number in here. So then we make it bigger. It's good enough. Make it in the center. Okay. And again, change the background color so that we can see the area. So we use the orange this time. Okay. So after that, of course, you need to have a button for user to click. So again, bring up the library. So this time, just a simple button. So again, make the button a little bit bigger. So this time, I want to change the text to yes. Okay. And then background color this time, just go down the list, maybe red. Good enough. Okay. Let's see, it said no font, so maybe attribute. So then we can make it bigger. Okay. Okay. So now we have our interface done. So we have to link it to our code. So we're using a storyboard using the MVC model. So here is actually our view. And for each view, it will come with a view controller. So for this view controller, is corresponding to here. You can see that is here, right? This view controller is corresponding to this view. So if you have more views, then you have more view controllers. So first, click on here to see the code. So there's some code generated for you. So view did load. So after the view load, you may want to do some more setup. So for now, we're not doing anything, but we will link the component in the view to our controller. So what we can do is we can hide this part. We don't need this part for now. So we got more room. And then we can add another pen. So maybe I make it a little bit bigger. So on this side, I might want to change it to something else. Let's see here. I may want to change it to the main. So, and I do not need this side for now. So I got bigger room. So this time, how do I link them together? So I only link the component that I need to change or get the data from. So that means that for the top label here, it's not going to change. So I'm not going to link it to my code. But for the rest of the three components, I will link it. So to link them together, you must use the key. So click on the control key and then drag it. Oops, drag it. So it's a blue line, right? So just put it somewhere inside your function. And this time, I call it message label. Okay. So this is a UI button. This is a weak storage, and click connect. So maybe I move it bigger so that you can see it in one line. So, and then here we'll need to get the data that the user enters. So click the control key and then drag a key. Oops, drag it to the code area. So this time it's in the outlet. So I call it user num text field and connect them. So you must do this using the control key. Otherwise, it will not work. So if you just type these two lines, it will not work. So you must connect them using the control key. And so what happened next? So what we can have is the button. It's an action. So when you say click a button, it's going to do something. So it will be an action. So we have to connect them again. So click the control key and then, okay, drag it to here. It's a blue line, right? So, and this time it's an action. So the name, we call it guess button. Click and make sure that this is a UI button. If you use any, it will not work. So make sure it's UI button and then connect them. So now you have the outlet, you have the action, right? So if you remember the MVC model, when a controller need to communicate with the view, they use an outlet. And also, if there's something happens in the view, they will use an action to trigger the controller. So now we have all the basic setup. So what happened to our logic? So well, user has to guess a number, right? So we better have a number, right? So we need to define a variable, which is called the secret num. So this will be an integer of some random number in a range of 0 to 10, 0 less than 10, okay? So this is our random number. So now we have a random number. So what happened when user click the button? So, well, first we will need to get the number from the text field that user entered. So we'll get a number. So for example, user num will equal to the user num text field dot text. So you see that the text is an optional string, right? So text, right? So we have to unwrap it. However, this is a text, is a string. Then, oh, so now forget about this warning. So because it's telling me that when you define variable, you're not using it. So we will use it later. So so we can come back here. So this time it's an optional string, but our secret number is an integer. So what happened is we need to pass it into an int. Okay. When we cast it into the int, when you use the option key, you can look at it. So it's an int type. So, but when you cast it, actually is an optional. So we have to unwrap it. So this time we will get the number that the user entered in the text field. So then we can do some simple comparison. So if the user num is equal to the secret num, then what happened? So, well, we have to display a message, right? So the message label of text will equal to you win and guess a new number. Okay. So, and of course, we have to reset the secret number. Otherwise, it will be the same all the way, right? So, the secret number equals to the same thing, integer, a random number between 0 to 10, not including 10. Then we can do an else if the user num is greater than secret num. So then we have to display the text, right? So this time user num is greater than secret num. So that means you have to guess a smaller number, right? So too big. Yes, a smaller number. Okay. And then else, so we don't have to do if anymore because it's not equal, it's not less than, it must be smaller than. So this time message label will equal to, so this time too small, guess a bigger number. Okay, so then what we can do is run the program and see if it's working. So once you run, and of course, you will need to compile it and wait a little bit. It's coming up here. So it will take a while to run. So just be patient. And once it's open, then keep it in there so that you don't have to wait again. So, okay, let's see. So, I just want a number text, number field. So how about I just use a 5 and to guess, too small. So a better number 8, still too small, it must be 9 then. still too small. What happened? So we make some mistake, I guess. Too small. Else if equals greater than. So we make a mistake here. Let's see. How come it's saying it's too small all the time? Is greater than 10 is not going to be 10, right? Oh, so I make a little mistake here. So because this is including 10, so not including 10 is this one. So sorry about the mistake. So that's why it doesn't work. And it happened the first try. So this time you run again. So this time 5. So too small. 8. Too big. 7. Too big. And 6. So you will guess a number. So I click again. So it's too big. So it looks like it's working. So, but however, we will look at some of the example of how to make this game better in the next video. So, okay, see you in the next video.